gastroenterologist, Dr. Mohidar, in the Tagore Hospital. Wasting much more time, I would request Dr. Sandeep Pal to take the proceedings further.
It is AI, then the application of AI in gastroenterology. Next, Dr. Rahul Roy will speak on liver transplantation. He will speak on the. Now, this is not new. This AI thing is going on for decades, say almost 1 or 2 decades it has been there. But since last 3-4 years, it has come rapidly. It is coming almost to the practice. So right now, the status of our state, we are not doing AI, we are not doing this, applying this technology in our day-to-day practice. But yes, for research purpose and to do it on patients, we have done a few cases. So what I can tell you about this technology is artificial intelligence is all about computer learning. So first we have to feed the computers. Let me give you an example. Suppose, as you know, there is a large intestine, and in the large intestine there are polyps or tumors that happen. Or in the biliary tract, in the CBD, pittonali, tumor hoy. So what happens now, how do you know when you do endoscopy, how do you know when you see the polyp whether it is a malignant polyp or it is a benign polyp, or if we are missing any polyp, because the colon is a long structure around 1.5 meter long and there are folds in the colon. So when you go with the scope, sometimes if there is a polyp behind the fold, we can miss it, and in standard textbooks the miss rate of polyp is from 20 to 30% when we do first time colonoscopy. So what is done in this technology is we feed the machine with images. Like lot of millions of images are being fed to the machine. Like this is a malignant image, this is a benign image, and this is how a polyp looks. It is fed into the machine from our, what we do procedures normally without AI. We have all record our procedures. All the pictures are recorded into our system. So these pictures we are feeding to the machine. So next time when we apply this software into the colon, the machine, the software tells us, like here there is a polyp. So it shows, a rectangle comes and it shows us that there is a polyp. So we can go back if we have missed that and we can detect. So it helps in improving the detection rate of polyps. And it is it has come first in the Western countries because they are more predisposed to colonic cancer.
I'll speak about disease donor transplant. So who is a disease donor? Organs are intact, but there is head injury, brain injury, and as a result of which the patient is in a comatose state, and for them a meaningful recovery is not possible. So in such cases, if their family members agree, gives consent to donate the organs, those organs can be retrieved and can be transplanted into other patients who need a transplant for their healthy life. So from one disease donor, 2 kidneys can be given, lung can be transplanted, heart can be transplanted, liver we can split into 2, and we can give one small part to a child and the bigger one to an adult, and also cornea can be donated. So with disease donation, one person can save 6 to 7 lives.
We are assembled here regarding the conference that we are holding. There were 2 major topics, as he said, is artificial intelligence and liver transplantation. We want to make some awareness amongst the general population. And what we have done today, tomorrow and day after tomorrow, is that the doctors who will be practicing gastroenterology, or they will be giving gastroenterological service to the people. If they are educated enough about these 2 things, then our job will be better done. Rather than, unlike in Western countries, we have more of live donation of organ. Now here one small part only thing the public should know, through your media you can pass it off, that since there are 2 kidneys, 1 kidney can be given easily. That etc. are needed, are very minimum, and the person who is receiving it, the chances of having a successful transplant is much more. And
planning to do over the next 2 days. Like Dr. Sandeep pointed out, in the last 3 to 4 years, the advancement of AI in healthcare has been very rapid. And as a hospital, we have adopted AI in a few areas like radiology and imaging, neurointervention, and the initial results have been fantastic. It improves accuracy, it improves throughput, it's way faster than what humans can do. So, this adoption, we have to increase awareness and we have to ensure that we adopt it with enough safety
मेरा नाम
protocols.
डॉक्टर संदीप पाल है, मैं कंसल्टेंट गैस्ट्रोएंटरोलॉजिस्ट हूँ नारायणा आर.एन. टैगोर हॉस्पिटल। सो आज हम प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस कर रहे हैं जो नया टेक्नोलॉजी है आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, और आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस का जो एप्लीकेशन है गैस्ट्रोएंटरोलॉजी में उसके बारे में। सो ये एक बिल्कुल नया टेक्नोलॉजी है जो अभी हम लोग अभी रिसर्च विंग में ही है, अभी रोज़मर्रा के यूज़ के लिए नहीं है, हम लोग नहीं कर रहे हैं। वैसा मशीन अभी तक पब्लिक यूज़ के लिए नहीं है, लेकिन ये नया रिसर्च है जो अभी आ रहा है। नेक्स्ट 2-3 साल में ये आ जाएगा पेशेंट के यूज़ के लिए भी। तो इसमें क्या होता है, मशीन लर्निंग। तो हम लोग जो कंप्यूटर होता है, कंप्यूटर को हम लोग फीड करते हैं उसको। जैसे कि मैं एग्जांपल देके बोलना चाहता हूँ, अगर एक पॉलिप है कि पॉलिप कैसा दिखता है, कैंसरस पॉलिप कैसा दिखता है, बिनाइन पॉलिप कैसा दिखता है, ये हम लोग मशीन को मिलियंस ऑफ इमेजेस फीड करते हैं। फिर मशीन का एक मेमोरी बढ़ जाता है कि ये कैंसर पॉलिप ऐसा दिखता है, नॉन कैंसर पॉलिप ऐसा दिखता है। फिर वो टेक्नोलॉजी जब हम पेशेंट में यूज़ करते हैं तो मशीन हमें आसानी से बता सकता है कि ये जो पॉलिप आप देख रहे हैं ये ख़राब पॉलिप होने का चांस है, तो हम उसका ट्रीटमेंट जल्द से जल्द कर सकते हैं। और ये एक हेल्प है। और दूसरा जो यूज़ उसका है कि ये कई बार पॉलिप डिटेक्शन में भी हेल्प करता है। जैसे कई बार हमें मिस हो जाता है पॉलिप, क्योंकि कोलोन बहुत लंबा 1.5 मीटर है, उसमें फोल्ड्स होते हैं, फोल्ड्स के पीछे अगर पॉलिप रहे तो दिखता नहीं है। तो अगर हम ये टेक्नोलॉजी यूज़ करते हैं तो मशीन हमें बता देता है कि उस जगह पे पॉलिप है, इस जगह पे पॉलिप है, तो डिटेक्शन रेट भी इंक्रीज़ हो जाता है। तो इस तरह से जैसे ये कोलोन में होता है, उसी तरह से ये इसोफेगस में, फूड पाइप में, स्टोमक में जो अर्ली गैस्ट्रिक कैंसर होते हैं, सो ये फ़ायदा ये होता है कि अर्ली गैस्ट्रिक कैंसर अगर हम डायग्नोसिस कर सकते हैं तो उसको एंडोस्कोपी से ट्रीटमेंट कर सकते हैं, उसका ऑपरेशन नहीं करना पड़ता है। स्टोमक को नहीं शरीर से पूरा निकालना नहीं पड़ता है, तो उसमें हम लोग क्या कर सकते हैं, एंडोस्कोपी से ही उस ट्यूमर को निकाल दे सकते हैं। तो पेशेंट का बहुत आसान हो जाता है, ट्रीटमेंट बहुत ईजी हो जाता है। सो ये हम सोचते हैं नेक्स्ट 2-3 ईयर्स में ये अवेलेबल हो जाएगा पब्लिक यूज़ के लिए। अभी मल्टीनेशनल कंपनीज़ इंडिया में जैसे ओलंपस है, उन्होंने HCL के साथ मिलके हैदराबाद में अपना नया जो रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट R&D के लिए खोला है। सो हमें लगता है नेक्स्ट 2-3 साल में विल गेट दिस टेक्नोलॉजी जो पब्लिक यूज़ करेगी।
ये कर रहे हैं पहले मैं
Dr. Rahul, I'm a consultant in liver transplant at Narayana Ravindranath Tagore Hospital. Today I'm going to speak to you about living donors who can donate their organs, particularly liver. So as you all know, liver is a single organ, unlike kidney. But in liver, we can split into two halves, right and left, and one part can be used to cure liver diseases. So who can be a liver donor? Anybody in the family whose blood group matches with the patient and he is between 18 to 50 years of age can donate a part of his liver or her liver. So generally what happens is we do an extensive investigation first to look whether there is fatty liver or not, general lifestyle diseases we rule out, and then we do an advanced CT scan to find out whether the anatomy is feasible to donate liver or not. And then we look for the liver volumes, whether it is sufficient for the donor and for the recipient. After liver donation, it is a very safe procedure, and the patient who donates part of the liver is absolutely fit and fine after 1 month of his surgery. He can rejoin his work. There is no restrictions on him from lifestyle point of view or any dietary point of view, and he can lead a absolutely normal life. Dr. Rahul.